So Thor Love and Thunder finally came out, and I have to admit, even though I have an absolutely absurd and extreme amount of Marvel fatigue, literally if I have to watch another Marvel movie, I might end up slaughtering my entire family. But originally, I was pretty hyped to go see this movie. I thought this movie was going to embody everything Marvel does well and improve on the things that it really fucking sucks at. Sorry, I'm coming down with stage 3 leukemia. Because the one thing that Marvel does better than any fantasy superhero movie franchise is comedy. And this movie had everything set up to be one of the funniest Marvel movies ever. And it wasn't.
Thor Ragnarok was a good film, and I felt it was going to be very hard to top that.
I don't even know where to fucking start, bro. Okay, listen, you can do it. You can be one of those losers who are gonna comment right now, well, comedy is subjective. People find certain things funny. Everyone has a different sense of humor. And you know what I have to say to that? My dick is subjective. Ask my ex, my dick is small. Ask the dwarf I met outside 7-Eleven, it's the biggest goddamn fucking thing she's ever seen in her life. The problem with the comedy in this movie is that there is so goddamn much of it. Every single scene has to have like 5 jokes. It felt like Mickey Mouse was holding Katiti Watiti at gunpoint and saying, "Did you think this script is good, yeah? Yeah? Add a fucking joke, you goddamn whore!" You see, there's a difference between having a lot of jokes and having good quality jokes, and this movie does not have good quality jokes. How do I know that, you might ask? Well, because one of the main jokes in this movie is a vine from 2012.
Oh, I missed. I missed again.
Yeah, remember that vine from 2012 where a goat screams? That is one of the main jokes of this fucking movie. Nothing else happens. The joke is literally that a goat fucking screams. Oh yes, funny noise make me laugh. I love the animal noise. Animal noise make me laugh. Oh yes, they do. And listen, if that's what gets you off and that's what makes you laugh, whatever, man. I'm not gonna complain that that makes you laugh, okay? However, for me, when I was having to hear these goats, I was looking at the 8-year-old child screaming and laughing the entire time, and I really had a strong image of just picking him up and chucking him across the theater. And yes, I know I'm shitting on this movie right now, and especially the comedy of this movie, but listen, I am not one of those people who thinks that Marvel movies aren't funny. Listen, are there some corny and cringy jokes in every Marvel movie? Yes, there are. However, usually there isn't so many of them that I can actually get around them. However, in this movie, every single scene has to have 5 jokes, and I would say about 4 of the 5 jokes do not land whatsoever.
Let's bring the rainbow. Let's bring the rainbow.
And that's what movies like Guardians of the Galaxy do so well. They remove the jokes that don't work, and they just keep the jokes that you know are going to crush. And Marvel has continuously fallen into this trap with their recent movies. I mean, why the fuck is Doctor Strange saying,
"Please, Scooby-Doo this crap"?
Huh? My 8-year-old cousin isn't laughing at that. By the way, my 8-year-old cousin is also deaf, but who gives a fuck? And I've seen a lot of people blaming Chris Hemsworth for jokes not falling, and I think that is total bullshit. I believe Marvel really has struck gold in 2 of their casting performances, those being obviously Robert Downey Jr. and number 2, Chris Hemsworth. I mean, he is a perfect specimen of a man. Look at those biceps, those ripped lateral muscles. Look at his fucking chest. God, look at that face, the blonde hair, the blue eyes, fucking cock! I mean, seriously, if you're one of the people who really believe that this movie's comedy problems are a direct result of Chris Hemsworth, just look back at Thor Ragnarok. I mean, that's one of Marvel's better movies, and he is absolutely hilarious in that movie. I mean, as soon as Marvel realized that they didn't have to shoot him in, like, weird upside-down vertical angles, he has been fantastic as Thor. But guess what? You know who's, not fantastic in their role in this movie? I'll give you a little hint. She wants sand in her vagina.
I don't like sand.
Listen, Natalie Portman, despite what a lot of people think, is an actual fantastic actor. And yes, I know this is usually the time where I start being sarcastic and say a lot of things, but I actually believe this. Yes, I know most of you know her from talking about sand and being in the weirdest Marvel movie in existence, but go watch Black Swan. She won an Oscar for that, and she fucking deserved to win an Oscar for that. But this whole, like, silly, corny, predictable Marvel type acting just isn't her thing. And you know, I didn't have a problem with any of the scenes where she's flying around fucking up some weird spider shadow fucking 8-legged monsters or whatever. But the thing is, as soon as she opens her goddamn mouth, I want to open my mouth and shove a revolver in it. She just really doesn't fit this comedy, silly, corny, cringy type acting that is all of these Marvel movies. In this movie, she felt like one of those kids at a party who has, like, you know, social anxiety, and so, like, every once in a while, you know, they try and start like a conversation with someone, but for the most part, they're just kind of in the corner awkwardly sipping water and like checking their phone and shit. That's what Natalie Portman is in this movie. All right. Let's stop talking about the comedy and Natalie Portman, and let's get into the biggest issue I had with this movie. Patrick Bateman. Originally, the reason why I was so hyped for this movie was because of Christian Bale. And before the Sigma male community throws my lifeless body in a ditch in the middle of Arkansas, it wasn't Christian Bale's fault, okay? The problem again resides in the overbearing use of comedy in this movie. Big words, big words. I don't even know what I just said. Christian Bale was trying to give a menacing and intimidating acting performance that could have possibly worked in a different movie. It's just that this movie was not going for that at all. Can't you fucking tell?
And I was bloody intimidated by her.
It's almost impossible for your villain in a movie to seem menacing or intimidating when he has to stop every 5 seconds to make some fucking horrendous joke. I mean, could you imagine if they tried to do what they did with this villain with the Joker in The Dark Knight? Could you imagine at the end of this scene if Heath Ledger was just like,
"This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
I fucked your mother, Batman." That shit would just never work. It would be impossible to take Heath Ledger seriously. Then again, the motherfucker could probably pull it off. He's Heath Ledger, who knows? That's why it didn't work, and gore already feels generic and fucking forgettable. Now, they could have gone for a not-so-serious villain, and it might have worked out. But the problem is that this movie wasn't taking itself seriously, but it still wanted to take its villain seriously, and that just will never work. The entire time, it just felt too conflicting and weird. In the entire movie, I was expecting Gore to just be like,
To return some videotapes.
again, you can have comedy in a movie, but you can't just blow your load and jizz comedy all over the fucking film. I mean, you can't just show up and just jizz on a girl unexpectedly, you know, you gotta just ease into it, you know what I mean? You gotta have some foreplay, you know, really get into it, and then, when the time comes, yes, you can jizz all over her face, and it's a lovely experience. It's fun, and a lot of people do it. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. I get the general point I was trying to make, like, you gotta, like, ease into the comedy, but, like, what the fuck am I talking about right now? But at the same time, this is why Endgame and Infinity War worked so well. Yes, there's a lot of comedic moments in the movie, but Thanos never looks at Tony Stark and says, "You have a small dick, Tony." Listen. I know that was a bad impersonation, okay? I don't remember what he sounds like right now. Please bear with me. Okay, listen. My mother told me that I have to stop being so pessimistic and I need to look at life on the bright side and appreciate some of the things in life. So I'm gonna talk about the things that I actually liked in this movie now. Ready? Here we go. Chris Hemsworth, yes. Chris Hemsworth's biceps. Chris Hemsworth's ripped fucking abs. Oh, I liked Russell Crowe as Zeus. Alright, I'm fucking done with this movie. Marvel, please stop overusing comedy in your movies. I don't want to hear this joke ever again, okay? Please, God, I would rather die.
Let's bring the rainbow.
Talk, you get back.
Alright, time to rate the movie now. This movie is far from the worst Marvel movie. Trust me, I know it's not great, but it's definitely not the worst Marvel movie. However, it is also far and away from the best Marvel movie, and still somehow is the second best Thor film. So, 5.5 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, this is quite literally my 3rd video on YouTube, so please subscribe. I'll appreciate it very much. I'm going to be releasing a Kenobi review very shortly, so if you want to hear that, please subscribe, because I'm sure that show's review is going to go way more positive than this one's, right? Can we stop with the child actors, please? All right, peace.
Let's bring the rainbow.
Jizz on a girl unexpectedly.
Listen, I was bloody intimidated by her.
Thor Love and Thunder was a good film, and I thought it was going to be very hard to top that.
Talk, you get back.